Hi everyone, Savannah Tree Foundation Field Manager Jake Henry here, and today we're kind of talking about a species and kind of talking about tree damage and pests, sort of. So we're going to be looking at some wood that was damaged by sapsuckers. So sapsuckers are a genus of birds. The genus is Sphaerapicus. Excuse me, I'm not an ornithologist, so if I mispronounce that, please let me know. So there are 4 species here in the United States, and true to their name, they will actually feed on the sap of trees. So this is from the same holly tree, and you can see here this kind of really unique square damage that was on here. And essentially what they'll do is dig into the tree, and the sap flow that comes out of the tree, they will then feed on. This sap can also attract insects, so the birds can also use those insects to feed their young or eat those insects, but primarily they feed off the sap. And you can see this tree was cut down pretty shortly after this damage happened, so it really didn't heal over. This damage can kill a tree. So this is one of those interesting areas where it's not an invasive species. You know, they're native, but they are a pest to some trees. They really can cause some significant damage. Now hollies I don't think are the most common. You know, I think sapsuckers tend to prefer birch trees, which we've got a few around here, you know, river birch being the most popular. But they can affect a lot of other trees. I know maples, beech trees, and apparently hollies. So here, this is the same tree, so this is kind of a cool comparison. You can see the tree was trying to heal over here. So they are, you know, sapsuckers are woodpeckers, so they knock back a lot of the bark here down to the xylem, all the way down to the actual wood. And the tree did try to heal over. So it did its best. It looks like it started to heal, but this tree was really significantly impacted by this sapsucker damage and eventually had to be cut down. But this is just a really cool example of not all natives are good for trees. You know, some do cause some damage, and sometimes it's pretty minimal. You know, we've done videos on other pests and pathogens that may just sort of be a nuisance or may make a tree look ugly but aren't necessarily going to kill it. This is one of those that it can range from really minor damage to pretty severe or mortality in some cases of the trees. And sometimes the sapsucker damage looks a little different. So, you know, as I said here, this is pretty recent. You almost have these rectangles or squares. This is a little bit later on. It's sort of tried to heal over. In some cases, I know there will just be lots of little dots. So it can look a little different depending on, I think, what species it is or what kind of tree it is. You can see here's an example of just little dots sort of on the tree, but it can be really extensive sometimes. So that's just one of the factors affecting trees that I wanted to discuss today. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and take care.